you're going through domestic violence, either because of the lockdown or you've been going through it, but now because of the COVID, it has intensified because your husband and your wife is in the house a lot more hours. You are there together, you're interacting closely, and you're rubbing heads and shoulders more than you've ever done before. You are noticing the negative things in each other a lot more than you did before. You tolerated each other because each one of you would come in the evening. You wake up in the morning. If you have children, you prepare them. You go to work. They go to school and you go to work. You gather again in the evening. You're all in a hurry to do a BCD and then move on. The cycle continued every day, every morning, every night. But there was less friction, or you could avoid each other. But now, because of the lockdown, because of losses of jobs, because of being forced to relate, we are having an increase in domestic violence. This is why I want to thank Prepared TV for making a time for us to address this issue. I said I'm a mother of 6, I'm a grandmother of 5, but I'm also a woman in the making. I'm not here to brag about my PhD about anything, because like I said, whatever came into my life after the age of 56, surely it found me already developed. My personality, my character, my values were already developed. I went back to school, and I encourage you, if you are there and you're going through stuff and you're needing to regroup yourself, you are needing to replan your life. As we go through this, I want to ask you, if you're going through domestic violence, let me do a disclaimer here. I am divorced, but I do not advocate for divorce and separation unless it is necessary. The reverse of that is nobody deserves to be abused. Nobody deserves to be living with somebody who is threatening your life. While I say I do not advocate for divorce, I will say it here. If your life is under threat, where you know that you can be killed or you can kill somebody, that is food for thought. God created you by yourself. He created your spouse by themselves. So if it gets to a point where you are thinking that you can even kill your husband or kill your wife, think about it again. It's time to move. And maybe I'm not saying that moving is immediately you go into a divorce. Move and take time to think about these things. Move and give your spouse time to think about what they need, or to look at you from a difference, to give you a chance and you give the other person a chance. And I am one who says domestic violence is not just about women. The majority of the abused are women. Actually, the statistics are 1 in 4 women has gone through domestic violence or is going through domestic violence. 1 in 9 men is being abused or has been abused. So realistically now, the days are gone where we looked at domestic violence as an issue for women from a gender issue. We want to remove that, because we have some of our sons and our brothers, we have our uncles, we have our friends, we even have our pastors, both men and women, by the way, who are going through domestic violence. Because just like we say, flu, when you talk about influenza, it does not care whether you are white or black. It does not care whether you are rich or poor. It does not care whether you are young or old. The same thing with domestic violence, because domestic violence comes as a result of evil. And where there is evil, it does not matter. It has no boundaries. It has no shame. And so the reality, as we address domestic violence today, Ithe Gathuru, is that it is affecting both men and women. And the reason I choose to say this right from the onset is that, is there a brother or a father here listening? You are welcome. You are part of this group. We want you to be here and to participate. And I want you to listen to me as a therapist, saying that I am dealing with men who are abused, and I give you permission to come out and say your life is just as important as my life as a woman who was abused. I do not advocate even for men being abused. Every human being is valued, and nobody deserves to be abused.